Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome to Dainty Bite. New Year and all new recipes, and what's better than starting the new year with Shishbarak, the most authentic way to make Shishbarak, just like my grandma used to make it. It's my kids' absolute favorite dish. It's a labor of love for sure. It takes time and effort, but it's so worth it. It's such a warm, inviting dish. It's basically a meat dumpling swimming in the goodness of cooked yogurt with cilantro and garlic. Let me show you how to make it, and let's get started. You're gonna start by making the simplest dough ever. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and I start adding the water, room temperature water. I have 1¼ cups of water. You can add more if you need to. And just add the water gradually. Every flour is different. It might take a little bit less or a little bit more. You're gonna knead the dough inside the bowl for only 2 minutes, just until it becomes very smooth. Add flour if you feel the dough is a little too sticky. Cover and let it rest between 15 to 30 minutes. And as always, I'll leave all the amounts and all the ingredients in the description box below, so check it out. Moving on to make the filling, you're gonna need 1 pound of sirloin ground beef. You can use chuck, a more fatty cut, but there's absolutely no need to. Half a cup of finely chopped parsley, Italian leaf parsley, half a cup of finely chopped onion, and I'm using sweet onion, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon allspice, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and I mix very well. I set aside and I start working on the dough. It is soft and it's been resting. I divide into 4 pieces for easy handling. I set aside a generous amount of flour. You're gonna need flour. Rolling the dough, you don't want it to be sticky, so add a generous amount of flour every time you roll the dough. You want to roll it relatively thin and make sure to cover the rest of the dough. You don't want it to dry out. This is a recipe that brings back memories of family and gatherings. Do you have one that's close to your heart too? If so, please leave it in the comments box below. I might be able to recreate this recipe for you. You're gonna need a cookie cutter that's 1½ inches in diameter. When you're happy about the thickness of the dough, you're gonna cut circles, just like so. And the scraps you're gonna reuse over and over. Just let them rest a little bit. Use a different piece and go back for them later. If you're liking my recipes and want to see more, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my recipes. Follow me on social media. The links are going to be in the description box below. And I really appreciate all your comments, questions, suggestions. Please leave them in the comments box as well. And I measured the perfect amount of filling. A very healthy 1/4 teaspoon of the filling is perfect. And this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna add it to the dough. You can stretch the dough a little bit. And like I said, use as much as you need of the flour. You're gonna close it just like a crescent. And make a loop just like you're making a hat or shaping a hat. Just like so. It's looking perfect. This is exactly what you need. I'll show you a couple more. Stretch the dough, add the filling, close just like a crescent. and close the edges just like so and shape into a little hat. It's all repetitive work from there. You're gonna end up with lots of little teeny tiny hats. You can get the help of your kids, family members, or friends. So it's totally okay to make them one day ahead. Keep them in the fridge uncovered. You want the shell or the dough to dry out a little bit. It's going to be better for cooking. And now I'm prepping some cilantro. I have 1 whole cup of cilantro washed and drained. And I'm going to use 1/4 cup of garlic cloves. I'm going to smash them very finely as well. So now I'm ready to cook my shishbarak. And for the garlic to become a little mellow, I'm gonna cook it in a little bit of butter, 2 tablespoons of butter. Add the cilantro garlic and cook for only 1 minute. Set aside and get a big pot. I'm gonna start cooking the shishbarak. For this recipe, I'm using 2 quarts of plain yogurt. Any plain yogurt you like. This happens to be my favorite. I'm using 2 bottles of this yogurt. Pay attention to all the details. The heat is still off. I'm gonna add 2 bottles of this yogurt and rinse the bottle with 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. You don't want to miss any of this yogurt goodness inside the bottle. Add the other bottle. The heat is still off. You're going to add an additional 1/2 cup of water and you're going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix well and now you're ready to turn the heat on. We're going to try to bring the yogurt to a boil. Season along the way with 2 teaspoons of salt. When it comes to a boil, you're going to start dropping the dumpling one after the other. You need to keep on whisking the yogurt until it comes to a boil. But after you drop your dumplings, you're going to stop whisking and be very, very gentle. You don't want to break them up. Add the whole tray. Just don't try to overcrowd the pot. The heat is on medium. The yogurt is simmering nicely. You can use a wooden spatula to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom and the yogurt is not burning at the bottom of the pan. Make sure the heat also is not too high. You're gonna cook the dumplings for only 4 to 5 minutes max, and you're gonna add the cilantro garlic mixture, and it's gonna be ready in no time at all. So after you add the whole dumplings, you're gonna wait 2 to 3 minutes and then add the cilantro garlic butter. Wait another minute and turn the heat off. Cooking this dish will take no time at all. Just as soon as the yogurt boils, you can add the dumplings and they can cook in only 2 to 3 minutes. Add the cilantro garlic and you'll be done. The prep is what takes most of the time in this dish and it's so worth it, I promise. I'm gonna save some of the cilantro garlic for garnish for later. For optimal flavor, wait for the yogurt to cool a little bit. Wait half an hour to an hour for all the flavors to develop nicely. You can serve this dish as is, or you can serve alongside some white basmati rice. Both ways are great. For me personally, I love this dish right out of the fridge. These little hats are so flavorful. These are nice little meat dumplings that are so good. I hope you give them a try soon. And until next time, bon appétit!